You own a planet and can destroy 24 spaceships without a suit. What are you exactly?
I'm what's called a celestial, sweetheart.
Hey guys, so back in 2017, which was actually, holy crap, that was a long time ago. Anyways, we meet Peter Quill's father, David Hasselhoff. But in 2022, we are introduced to the Eternals, a group of superheroes from outer space with their own estranged father, Arishem, and the rest of the Celestials. And they think Ego was a liar. So back in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Peter Quill, aka Star-Lord, finally uncovers the identity of his birth father, Ego, the living planet. And when Ego is questioned about what he actually is, he replies,
I'm what's called a celestial, sweetheart.
A celestial like a god?
but is Ego telling the truth? It's bizarre because Ego doesn't look anything like Nowhere, which we know is the head of another Celestial. And the case gets a lot worse after the release of Eternals, when we see a lot of other Celestials, which, besides the introduction of two members of House Stark to the MCU, also introduces us to another group of Celestials who don't look anything like Ego, but their similarities are very apparent. 6 eyes, big suit of armor, giant humanoid body. And if there's one thing that Ego is not, it's that. He's planet-shaped. He's a big brain in space. Ego doesn't have anything visually in common with those enormous space transformers. Yet, he's just a big brain. In fact, realistically, he's actually a pretty small brain when you compare him to the relative scale of the Celestials. He's just a brain in space with just layers of dirt piled up on top of it. And it doesn't help that in the comics, Ego the Living Planet is actually not a Celestial, but instead the result of some sort of weird experiment. And yet, Ego does have a lot in common with them. He lives within the center of a planet, and his plan is shockingly similar. Both Arishem and Ego want to spread seeds of themselves across the universe, onto planets that possess sentient life, and in both cases, the plan would result in the complete destruction of those planets and the death of all their inhabitants. And Ego, just like the Celestials, can create seemingly anything it wants, just on a much smaller scale. So, is Ego a Celestial? And the truth is, I do think so, despite what I may have said in the intro. Ego is a Celestial without a planet. So, in the Eternals, we find out Arishem's grand plan for the universe.
Our universe is a constant exchange of energy, an infinite cycle of creation and destruction.
And the plan involves placing celestial seeds on various planets, because Celestials need to be born on a planet with intelligent life. As life on the planet grows, so does the Celestial, and eventually, when that reaches a critical point, the Celestial can emerge. But what would happen to one of those seeds if it didn't land on a planet? Or what would happen in the case where the planet it landed on was destroyed shortly after it arrived? Probably struggle to grow and develop. And that's why I think Ego is a Celestial seed. And that's exactly what I think happened to Ego. He would develop with a strong instinctual desire to find intelligent life.
Told you how all those years ago I had an unceasing impulse to find life. Realization. My innate desire to seek out other life was
an instinct that he should have been within a planet, and therefore he would create a planet around him because he thinks that that is normal. And he would have the same hereditary plan of his species that he needs to spread a seed to other worlds. So basically what I'm saying is that Ego is a Celestial baby. Not fully developed, unaware of his parents' existence, and so unable to find other Celestials, and horribly lacking on the sentient life it needs to be propelled into its final form. And just like a baby, he's short-sighted and quick to throw a tantrum.
But it broke my heart to put that tumor in her head. Who in the hell do you think you are?
But guys, that's just what I think. Let me know whether or not you guys think Ego is a real Celestial, or was he just lying about the whole thing? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.